All right, well, this is SANDCAST Cabo edition here with beach volleyball with not Bourne, who's in Doha, and Travis Moore, who's in Cabo. We're getting worldwide here with the SANDCAST. On the show, welcoming back, second time for both of you guys, I think. We got Troy Field and Eric Beranek, the E&T Show.
Let's go, baby.
E&T Show is here.
What's up, boys?
Yeah.
Dude,
Good to be here. Good to be here. Cabo edition.
Yeah.
SOB edition, I guess.
SOB edition.
Yeah.
That stands for south of the border. You guys were not the other son of a biscuit eater.
The south of the border Volley Vacations. This is what your...
This is my fifth in a row.
Did you jump on board these things?
Yeah, I kind of full invested in what Tom has going on here.
Yeah, and so Tom is Tom Davenport for the listeners who haven't heard of him or met him yet. By the way, like if you haven't met Tom Davenport, then you probably just like haven't been to a beach volleyball event. This dude's everywhere.
Yeah. If you hear somebody talking to somebody for a couple hours, that's probably Tom. Yeah. Or if you experienced a conversation with Tom, you know that he's a talker. But yeah, he created these about 26, 27 years ago. And they came down, just some volleyball nets and some beers, and wanted to create a home away from the winters in Colorado and Minnesota. And yeah, he's developed this company into 3 different cities, 4 different trips. So they go down to Puerto Vallarta, Ixtapa, and Cabo. So my first trip was Ixtapa, which is typically the crazy one because there's about 250 people that go, like 200 guests.
And there's like 12 pros-ish that go?
So my first one.
How many are here? I think there's 65 people here. And
like 65.
6 pros.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think he tries to shoot for that like 15-1 or 10-1 ratio for like pros to players.
Yeah. Totally. This one he wants to create more, definitely a more environment where people can get a little more intense coaching.
Very intimate.
Very intimate.
Yeah.
So they can feel like they have a lot of time.
It's super fun. Like just getting to know people because like coming into it, I was like, oh my god, like I'm terrible with names. I was like, I'm never gonna remember like any of these people's names, but you get to know them so well that you're just like. You get to like their name. It's like no problem. Like you know their background, where they're from, like their 9-month-old daughter's name.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun like getting to meet all these people.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. This is your rookie trip. Me too.
I'm an SOB virgin. That's what they call me here. Yeah. No mas.
Yeah. How's your trip been?
It's been really rewarding. Excuse me. I kind of knew what to expect because Troy and Billy Allen. Ty Trambly, Loomis too, kind of gave me a little bit of insight. Yeah. But I think it's so nice being around people that absolutely love volleyball. And I'm a volleyball junkie, so I can talk about volleyball all day. People are like, oh, isn't that annoying, like to talk about volleyball? Because that's your job. I'm like, well, yeah, but it's my love too.
Right.
So it's super easy. And everyone's just been almost, you feel like you're kind of like a prized possession because they want to get to know you and they want to get to know how you think and what you do, what you eat, everything they want to know. So it's cool, and I want to know about them and what they do and how they got their start in beach volleyball.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like a really welcome dose of perspective too, because I think in Southern California we take it for granted. At least I take it for granted sometimes. I'm like, I have beach volleyball 6 days a week, and these people come out and they're just like, we got Kale from Alaska.
Yeah.
He doesn't get the sun half the year.
Yeah.
And he's probably one of the best ones here.
I know. So it's just like, these people pay like thousands of dollars to come play beach volleyball for a week, and then like we get paid as professional athletes to do what they like pay thousands of dollars to do. It's like, okay, like, we're really blessed to do what we do. It's like it's so fun to like get that perspective.
Yeah. Kind of grounds you, makes you realize the sweet life that we live.
Yeah.
So I've just felt really grateful on this trip to be doing what I do, and it's made me, I already love the sport, but it's made me love the sport even more.
Yeah, which I feel like for you guys it's hard to do. Like you guys are beach volleyball dudes, and I'm the same way. Like all 3 of us are kind of like beach rats. It's like hard to find a deeper love than what we already have.
Yeah, it's definitely, you come down here and all the little touches that we get, for them for the guests, they kind of look at us and be like, wow, like you guys aren't playing full speed, you guys aren't doing this, and To an extent, yes, but I feel like after these trips, I come home and I feel like I'm a way better passer.
Yeah.
I'm working on my own things. So even in these pro games, like I'm always getting better, and that's what I easily communicate to them. So it's just so funny if you really choose an opportunity to use your time on the beach and that time touching a volleyball to benefit you, like it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Like these little touches that we're getting, we're not going against the big blocks or anything like that, but that's not what I'm working on. And so it's funny, it's just like us like who are just love the sport, like any single time, like even if we're just gonna pepper for fun, I'm using that time to work on a hitting technique or keep my platform together. I don't know, that's just, and it's funny to have these people here with us. So we come down and I feel like I get so much out of this myself, and I'm not just giving.
I feel like I forgot how much I actually knew about beach volleyball and everything that I have to offer for these people. And they're like, no, just give me, some feedback when we play this game for 45 minutes. I'm like, trust me, I'm gonna give you plenty of feedback. You're gonna ask me to shut up by the end of it. So that's what they want. That's what they're here for. Yeah. So it's been fun, and I've been thinking a lot about that. And because last year I had Kalinsky, who was giving me all this information, and when I was 18, 19, I had Marcio Sicoli kind of in my ear, and all of the greats, Matt Verbringer, and Genio. I've had a lot of these high-profile coaches kind of in my ear growing up. I've been super blessed to have these really good coaches in these short time spans, so I've heard a lot of voices. So it's been really fun talking about that, and I really forgot how many people I've been coached by. So, and it's fun listening to your style. It's fun. Ty has a really fun way of coaching volleyball. Oh yeah, he's just flow, and that's him, and it's so good because it resonates with people. Like how to move. So, it's a treat.
Yeah, and you mentioned that like you learn a lot on these trips. I feel like the best way to like learn is to teach, kind of. Where I'm like teaching these people like the right way to set, and then I go to like find myself sort of like side chuck and I'm like, I gotta get around.
No, it definitely is. One of those things. It's like, I mean, like biblical, like Paul talks about it, but like follow me as I follow Christ. So it's kind of like one of those things too. That like I'm kind of follow me as I on the AVP, and so he definitely.
They're like, do you do it? And you're like.
Yeah, so you're just like,
I can if I can.
Totally. Well, that's kind of how I got my start into volleyball. Was that kind of ideology? Was I had to be the model for like kids who were arguably better than me at the time, but I just was like I had a little bit more athletic ability and physicality that they didn't have because they were just younger than me, and so. Definitely trains you to be, all right, well, I'm going to, walk the walk. I say I'm going to do something here, then I really want it. Because they pick it out. They'll be like, well, like I saw this. Or it's so funny because they're all students of the game here. Yeah. And that's, I think, what's the most fun is that he's created this, Tom has kind of built this community. And it's filtered the people who, like, aren't that, very student mindset. And it hasn't been there. And, there's games where they're like, I don't, I've had people that I'm not going to learn anything, so just don't even teach me. But that's like,
but that's funny. Like people are like, I'm not even here to learn. I just like I'm here for a week-long vacation to play volleyball and drink. Like, let's just have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And they make it apparent. And I think Tom is so good at getting through to everybody and having this open communication that. There's been no problems and no complainers and whiners. He's been doing it for so long. His speeches kind of tweak your mind in a way. It's like, we're in Cabo. Like, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm here for you. The pros are here they love you. And everyone's just he tweaks it in such a way where you kind of get like mind screwed. You're like, grateful, yes. Yeah. He's so good at that. He's created such a good environment. And that's why I'm really impressed with Tom that he's doing this. And these people have a really fun week, including ourselves. Yeah. So he's helping us. He's giving us an opportunity to better ourselves. And, on all sides.
Yeah, I asked him like if there's any way that if he like vets the guest at all, like how do you kind of, because I haven't met anyone that I don't like or who's just like kind of a dick. He's like, oh, do you mean like, do we just have any assholes? I was like, yeah, like how do you make sure that like doesn't happen? He's like, it's kind of a self-policing system where like, you know, if people really don't enjoy, like they figure it out, they're like, oh, I don't really belong here because I'm like being mean to everyone, everyone's super nice. It's just like, it weeds it out. I don't know. It's super cool because like now, like I don't know, the Istapa trip fills up in like 30 minutes. It's like
even less than that. Like there's so many.
These are like coveted things to do.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes. There's stories of some people were in England for I think their honeymoon, and they had to go through like a Facebook website and use like all these different like routers and all this sort of stuff to like make sure they do it. Some people like pay other people in the States to register them. Yeah. It's gnarly. I mean, it's like 10 minutes. It fills up 250 people, and so and it's one of those things that's like
so nutty.
Like we can't have any more. Like it's like we can't add any more to Ixtapa. So there's PV. Yeah. And there's two weeks in PV. Puerto Vallarta. Okay. And so that's like a nicer hotel. It's like closer to 5-star hotel, Hard Rock. Really, really nice. Like great food and just super nice stay. So we have people whose like wives come down and they don't play volleyball at all. They just like watch their husbands, and so they call it Widow Row because it's like they're just all there while they watch their husbands. That's good. So they're like, you're always welcome at Widow Row, and I would go and just like hang out with the ladies, and it's just like gossip. It's so fun.
That's awesome. Long story short, if you're gonna go on an SOB trip, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
It
fills up. For sure.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a bucket. It's kind of like a bucket list thing to do. Like if you're a beach volleyball enthusiast or like just a big fan, like even if you don't play, like a lot of people on this trip like don't play all that much or like really at all. Like I met a couple people where they're like, I've been playing for 4 days. Like, oh wow, like one, you're really good for 4 days.
Yeah.
Two, like good for you for just making like your vacation time a week long. Just like we're going head first into beach volleyball and we're not coming up for air until a week later.
On the contraire, there is a lot of people that do play a lot, so the levels are completely like mixed.
Yeah,
like it has a really good mix of people for all different levels. Yeah, and that's what I was really impressed. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be people that don't know how to play, but there's a lot of people that actually are pretty dang good.
Yeah, there's
and from everywhere in between. So I feel like Tom is, I don't know how he does it, but he finds a way. So it's been really cool.
And I think that's the thing too. And Tom talks about it that, you know, if there's that outside on your indoor team who isn't very nice and all this other stuff, like don't tell him about SOB. But if you have somebody on your team who's like really fun, or a spouse or a friend, like tell them, we want them, you know. Like, but then some people also, it's just like they don't want to tell anybody in their city or state because they want to be the only people they want to treat this trip as their trip.
Yeah. So and they do like the KOB formats. So
you play with everybody.
Yeah, you play with everyone, so there's no excuses.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you can make excuses, but he's so good at, like I said, those pre-game speeches that you just can't feel like you can make an excuse out there. So it's so good.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is like kind of the sort of preseason's coming to an end. Hopefully we have a season with all the Corona madness. But I'm really curious about both of you guys' off season. So you both like switch partners. Troy with Casey Patterson. Eric, you kind of did like, it seemed like really focused work with Andy Benish. Just kind of want like an overview of like how it was with Casey and how things are going so far, and like what when the debut would be.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the practice where we beat you or no?
It's actually really funny. Like speaking, like this is like of SOB, is that I've gotten a new partner every SOB trip. So like when I went to Cabo last year is when Tim and I decided to play together, and then Puerto Vallarta, I got a text from Casey that we were going to play together. So I was just like. I still have 2 more SOBs. What's going to happen? Like, I got an early Puerto Vallarta. So then Casey came on Ixtapa. So, but I mean, it's been really good. It's, and, you know, being able to practice. Like, Tim and I didn't get a practice.
Probably helpful.
Yeah, so now getting a practice. But then what's fun about that is, and that's why I love volleyball and I love teaching it, is because it relates so much, like, to life.
Yeah.
And so when you have, I mean, you're newly married, so, but like I think all 3 of us have been in a serious relationship But when you're with that partner, like you go through the ups and downs. Like nothing's ever going to be really great. So sometimes you're going to have a low. Sometimes you're going to have like a really high. Yeah. And so going with those. So going to practice. Casey's really my first partner where we're consistently practicing, and he's seeing my bad moments, I'm seeing his bad moments, and he's seeing my great moments, and I'm seeing his, and so we're finding that balance of what does that practice schedule look like, and we've like kind of slipped into this practice of our own touches. The first day of the week, so our first training week, so typically being like a Monday or Tuesday, it's going to be us and a coach. Kyle Dennitz is a friend of pretty much everybody in the volleyball community, especially Eric and some of us. He's had some free time and been willing to get on a box and work his shoulder at us.
Yeah.
But just being some of the, like we've had Eric Fenoy Moana come out and help us and kind of watch us, give any sort of feedback. I mean, Casey's a legend of the game. But our training schedules are going to be very different, meaning that I'm still working on a lot of skill stuff and getting better in my technique and getting better in all this other stuff, whereas Casey's, been there, done that, improving and staying ready and pushing himself to the season. So, and then we practice about 3 times a week. So so that first practice is just touches with us as a team. And then it touches like with LT and maybe another team, and then the last practice of the week that we're going to do together is a little bit more competition. So that's kind of the mold that we've led into in the beginning, because we went with all this like LT was putting on these amazing practices, and that was benefiting me and like all the things that I need to do. I was learning so much, and I was just benefiting a ton. And then Casey and I, there was a live side out drill, and we realized that we had no idea how to do a back set. Our back sets were just like, what are we doing? Like, what are we thinking? So we just were struggling a ton on it. And so that's where I think, adopting this preseason of like touches to slow team and then to competition helped us the most. So then we did touches by ourselves for 2 times a week, and then now we're going that. So it's been great. I mean, learning a ton about him, just learning how to be the athlete off the court, be an ambassador for the sport, have a brand, and I want to eventually provide for a family like he's been doing.
Yeah.
And so got to learn all the ins and outs of that, but then just the way he kind of feels in the court. And I mean, he's a gamer too. I've been practicing against him for a year and a half or so, and so knowing that he brings it in the game, and I mean, it's just been what he's been doing for 15 years or something like that. So I'm fired up to finally get to competition. So Lord willing, the first one is Huntington.
Right.
But
please.
Yeah, everybody wash your hands a lot.
Wash your hands so we can have an
A&T. So
I can train for something.
But it's been good getting out and seeing a lot of preseason teams, and Eric and Andy are definitely a team to be watching. So that's a good segue into.
Yeah. One other thing, you've been killing it in the gym. His off.
Yeah, I've been working really hard with
destroying yourself.
F45. So
well, I remember when we had you on last time, you were like, guys, I'm the worst person to ask about the vertical, because I don't lift weights. So you've changed. You're changing all this.
It was actually funny because Eric was working out a lot and doing a bunch of different stuff. And now we kind of like flipped roles. now I'm working.
Yeah, and I hit the gym yesterday, and one of our campers, guests, anything. But one of the guests,
shout out to Brooke.
Yeah,
listening, watching.
Yeah, thank you so much. But she was like, "Hey, I could put you through a workout. You trust me." So I have this background. I'm like, sounds great. Let's do it. And she put me through a badass workout, and I realized that I'm pretty weak and unbalanced. And she was like, "No, but this is good." And I said the same thing. I actually love when I'm horrible. Obviously, we don't love it, but we love it because we know that there's so much room for improvement.
And you see it, like what you need to improve on too. Yeah. It's good to have that. Yeah.
So if I can't perform a perfect squat, then I know that I'm not loading properly. My jump's going to be off. I'm like, wow, if I get my squat right, it'll probably, get a few more inches. I'll be more stable. I'll probably won't have a knee injury.
Yeah.
It's just this whole chain.
Yeah. And that F45 has been great for me.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, I feel like everybody has their own thing. Like USA Gym has all their stuff. And I was just I was been doing a lot of off-season work with, actually he was a guest on, in Ixtapa. His name's David Strauss. He's a volleyball player and an author in Denver. Nice. So he wrote this book. It's called Dancing with Vampires. It's been huge help this off-season, but getting my mind right and kind of organizing my life, like building my brand. So that's been like, it's life-changing, like full life-changing. But we kind of discovered that my personality type is variety. And so understanding of variety, like I like structure, but in a variety. And so we were trying to figure out, and kind of got put into F45 through a buddy of Scott. Like again, like the volleyball community kind of just rallied around in a lot of serendipitous moments.
You said one of the SOB.
One SOB guys, but Scott was somebody we met in Qatar. But David Strauss was and he still is a guy who goes to Ixtapa, and he lives in Denver, so he comes to some AVP events.
Awesome.
But yeah, we got plugged in with F45, and it's just one of those things where variety. I think there's like 300,000 workouts that they can possibly do. Like, whoa. It's a crap ton of workouts that everything's the same. I mean, everything is like, so like cardio, strength, but then it's like a huge variety. Okay. So you just go in and stuff is on the wall. It's hilarious because I feel so out of place when we're doing our warm-up. I'm just like doing all these things with like soccer moms and business guys. It's so funny. I'm like, but then as soon as I start working out, it's like tunnel vision, and the people next to me are just busting their butt, and I'm just sweating like trying to complete this workout. And so that's what's been working for me. It's not like crazy heavy weights and everything like that, but it's super like stability, like learning the proper way, to squat, proper way to deadlift. Yeah. It's a lot of core, so I've definitely seen a huge improvement. But again, I mean, you're kind of the same way. And Troy has his trainer and everything. So I think everybody does their own thing. And you just find out what's right for you. Yeah. We're slowly figuring it out. So like F45 has been an amazing blessing in my life, and it's been absolutely awesome. And I think it's a great cardio workout. One of the best I've ever had. So I want to get as many volleyball players for that. It's like their Monday cardio.
Where is that 45?
There's one right on Hermosa Ave, right by like the comedy club and the yard.
Got it.
So right by the pier.
Right across the street from Brothers Burritos.
Okay. Yeah, Brothers Burritos.
The OG Brothers, not
not Manhattan. I hate going there. I feel like I'm like cheating on them. Like,
because then you walk in, you kind of feel like guilty.
I know.
You're like, and then they look at you and you're like,
I know the next day I go see Sarah.
I was never here.
Yeah. I go see Sarah and Yoshi, and they're like, oh, where were you yesterday? I'm like, I ate Brothers, but it was at the other one. I'm so sorry.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's definitely an awesome workout. And you just find out what works for you. I'm slowly finding that schedule. Benefits me, but definitely this off season, not huffing and puffing as much as I was. I know when I was practicing with Tim, there'd be like 4 days where I'd like wouldn't practice a little bit, and then I'd get a text about a 3-team practice. It was like Jose, and I'm like playing with Kane, and I was like just heaving in the sand, like, oh man. So now I'm ready, and I filmed some of their workouts, so I've been doing them here in Cabo. It's great, but every shirt, every workout.
Yeah. Just
you could ring it out, and it's a blast.
And then Erica, you had like obviously a huge breakout year. Like second half of the AVP season was big. Did that like help you? Not that you were ever like unfocused, but did that help you like really dial in this off season and preseason? Like I now see the tangible results of what I'm capable of, because I feel like everyone's like, yes, I'm capable of winning an AVP, but like you got to taste how close you are now. Yeah. So did that like help you kind of like dial it in this off season and preseason?
Yeah. And I don't think it is like fully, like I don't think it's been like a 180.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, now I can play volleyball.
Right.
But I think it's now everyone has seen that I could play, so I feel like I have a little bit more respect from others. Yeah. So at practices, it's a little different vibe. Like now it's like, okay, I'm gonna kick your ass, or at least try to, and you know that I can. That I'm capable. Whether I do it or not is. Maybe,
right.
Maybe it's not up to me in that day because I'm not playing well or something, whatever. But now I feel like I'm more than capable, and I just got to put the puzzle pieces together. And I got a call from LT 3 weeks before
LT,
January.
Just for the listeners, he's a kind of a new coach, relatively new coach to the California area. He moved from Florida to the South Bay like midway through the season last year.
Yeah.
and so he's just kind of set up on like 3rd Street-ish.
Yeah,
And
3rd
he's
Street.
just kind of had like done a really good job of like networking with like a lot of the big dogs and just like the big movers in the community that you've been working with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Eric.
been amazing.
Well, he worked with Eric last season.
I got my best finishes with
Manhattan
him.
and Hawaii, in Chicago, but yeah. So that I didn't really know that he was doing all this, and then.
Yeah, and I didn't really know he was going to do all this stuff. I knew that he was going to coach me again this season because we just have such a good connection.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a brother and a father and a coach and just like a good person all wrapped up into one.
Yeah.
So we get along. And I didn't know him too long before Manhattan, but I trusted him. And we had just an amazing connection.
Yeah.
So I want to work for somebody, I want to enjoy, and that's what's cool about Andy as well, is I'm just enjoying him every single day. We show up to practice and we're on the same page. He's a young guy like myself, so it resonates. Like I played against him in high school, which is cool. But yeah, going back, I get this call from LT, I think it was like 3 weeks before January.
Okay.
And because I was going to originally start in January, was my date to come back. And LT's like, hey, Andy Benish has been training his ass off with me like the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Where are you at? And he's calling me. He's like, get your ass in the sand.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm like, no, I need time. I'm not ready. Of course, like probably a few days later, I came back.
Yeah.
And was ready. But he kept, and he was already on my radar in Chicago after he took that finish in Hermosa. We were at the player AVP party, the after party.
Yeah.
And I just told Andy, I was like, hey, I recognize you. You're playing really good volleyball. Just keep it up. I wouldn't be surprised if we link up next year or the year after, whatever, but I really like your style. So keep it up. And he's like, that would be sweet if we play together.
Yeah.
So I already had him in the back of my mind as one of my top choices.
Yeah.
And then for my coach, who I trust so much, to say, do it.
Yeah.
Pick up this guy.
And he's legit.
He is legit. I think he's
a big boy.
The most capable blocker, out there as like up and coming guys like Troy,
Yeah, and Andy has like something that you can't teach. He's like 6'9"-ish.
6'8", 6'9", yeah.
6'9" with
He
like
blocked me like 9 times in Hermosa.
He's big.
Yeah.
He's big.
Good thing we had this friend on the sideline heckling the crap out of me and fired me out from the one. If you're listening, you know who you are. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
Dude just wouldn't stop talking. I'm like, this is all I need.
I'd have to call for a medical timeout and find him in the crowd, take him to the bathroom, and just beat him to death. It's like taking one of the vacationers over here to say, cool, hey, we're going to go for a swim.
Yeah.
Let's see how shore breaky this is.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been such a treat. I've been training pretty religiously 4 to 5 times a week with Andy. We've been doing double days. We've been kicking ass. I would say the biggest thing for me is still like figuring out my recovery, and also I guess I need to work out more apparently in the gym.
Which is crazy because like you're like a big dude, like you're strong.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have guessed that you didn't lift until you said in the gym yesterday. You're like, I don't really lift.
Yeah, I worked out really, really hard when I was 14 years old until basically 20 years old. Yeah, 14 to 20 pretty heavily. I had a gym in my garage growing up, and my stepdad was a gym owner in the Pacific Palisades.
Okay.
So after that, it was years ago, but he took a whole bunch of stuff from storage, put it in our garage, and I started working out. And my mom was super active, so she worked out every single day. It was part of her deal. And then my stepdad is a huge 6'5" badass who played football at UCLA. And
he's a monster.
Stuff. He's a complete monster. He used to manhandle me as a child. But I started lifting weights super early. I actually was supposed to be 6'4". I'm the shortest male in my family,
so
which is complete bullshit.
Do you think that's because you were lifting early? Because I was always told the old wives' tale.
Yeah.
Like my dad, we didn't let us lift until we were sophomores in high school. He's like, you're gonna stunt your growth plates or whatever. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but
yeah, I think going back.
I think God wanted you to be a defender, though.
and you're so good at it.
Yeah. I think you being low to the ground, think like. Yeah.
No, I think I want, and I'm thinking what it would like to be a blocker. You know.
Yeah.
So easy.
Nah, you'd be so bad. So easy. Yeah.
Big boy over. Big boy penetrating. C block.
Yeah. That was like one of the guests today. Like they were dumbfounded. Like, wait, you have to serve a ball and run all the way to the
This
net?
is hilarious. Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Why wouldn't the other guy go? And I'm like, yeah, that's why.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah. You understand what's going on.
He's like, man, that sounds tiring. It's
Yeah.
like, yes.
Yeah. You're 100% right. Yeah.
I don't do that though, because I don't say like, I'm sorry you have to run out, because then now I make it a problem. You know, no. You signed up for this. Like, this is your job.
Yeah.
It's a part of it. It's just like me making a fake move and coming back. It's a part of the deal.
Yeah.
You know?
It's been funny, like, this off-season has been, like, the first off-season that has ever happened where I've been consistently competing and I'm not the one getting served, and I'm like, oh, this is great. Who wants to play another one? It's awesome. But, like, last year playing with Miles, like, no one wanted to deal with that wrist of his. And so, like, I got served every ball. I jump served every ball, and I was running up and blocking. I was in the best shape I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
Just from playing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But
And
Yeah, that's why I'm
you're,
like, Casey for the past like 5 years has had like a 700% side out rate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get ready for some serves, so
Yeah, for
I have
sure.
a lot to work to do before May rolls
But now
around.
you're on the other side where you have to flip and think about how you can affect the game
yeah.
from your side, which is totally different. You
Yeah.
know, how to create a few points from setting and serving and blocking and defense and talking to your partner and all these things that you can add value to.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your total mind has switched and flipped and grown.
It's so much easier to like have an effective jump serve when I'm not going back there like sucking on an oxygen tank.
Yeah. Like Happy Gilmore. I just get the ball in the hole every time. It's so much easier that
It's
way.
so much easier.
Every
It's
time
way easier than putting.
Every time I get an ace, I say that. It's so much easier than
So much
putting.
easier.
Yeah.
That's why I love
Nice
like
and
Rich
easy,
Lamborn
happy.
and like when he's on the mic. Oh my gosh. And he throws out subtle ones. One of my all-time favorite ones is like, I think someone was like hit something. I don't know, it might have been me, but I just like somebody hit like somebody, and he just threw out subtle. They're like, I should have been standing there. And then Kevin just like glazed it, like bounced over it. I was dying laughing. I was like, should have been standing there.
I love
You just hit
Rich
that guy.
Lamborn, man.
That meat stick is pretty witty.
Yeah.
It's a walking meat stick.
I was so confused.
You want an arm?
I was like, what meat stick? Is this a thank you to our sponsors, Chomps? Like, I didn't know if we were thinking Chomps right now. Like, goodness gracious.
No, you ever get hungry in an AVP tournament and just start
it's
chewing
not-
on its
yeah.
calf?
He's not a meat stick. He's like a.
He's got extra. He can feed the whole AVP family. AVP family, coronavirus, we all shut down. We invite Rich and we eat him alive.
Oh
We completely
my.
eat him. And you
Goodness
know it's going to be
gracious.
super fun. Come in here, we have a beautiful AVP family.
Oh wow.
Slow roast them. I got your back, Rich. I got your back.
Man.
That's for all the shit he said to me.
We've really zigged here.
Yeah, man. Sorry. Welcome back to the rabbit track. Yeah.
Cabo.
Alice in Wonderland.
Somehow we went from Eric not lifting.
Yeah. So now Rich is nicknamed the meat stick, and we're gonna eat him alive.
Yeah, they always think the big guy is going to survive in those situations. Like, no, little guy.
It's like one of the flies.
Yeah.
Coronavirus version.
Coronavirus, we're going to be just fine.
All right.
So you stopped lifting.
Yeah,
You've been
kind
doing more like mobility and
more mobility and stuff,
that
trying to
kind
get my body right.
Yeah.
I think I had a lot more trauma than I truly believed after I fell off a cliff my senior. I don't know. Did we talk about that at all?
I don't think so.
No. So my senior year of high school, I was cliff jumping in Abalone Cove, which is in Palos Verdes.
Okay.
And I kind of grew up doing it with my friends, and we're all little daredevils running around. And I was actually super big into climbing, so I go to Hangar 18 all the time.
Okay.
I don't know if you know where that gym is.
I've heard it, yeah.
Yeah. So we'd go there and we'd climb at least once a week. So I was a pretty good climber, super strong. I lifted literally every single day.
Yeah.
I was 100% stronger than I am now. And I'm confident that old, senior year Eric would kick my ass right now. Which is sad. Seeing him around the corner. But it's, so I was climbing. Well, actually, I'll kind of go back a little bit. There's this little ridge that you would walk out and jump off. I was like, oh, that's cool, whatever. That's like 15 feet, whatever. Yeah. I'm like, I want to get to the very top of it.
Okay.
So I go around the backside where no one has gone before, at least no one should.
Probably for good reason.
Yeah, probably for good reason, which I don't know why, but apparently I had like some serious balls that day just to scale a massive rock.
Yeah.
And I just started climbing, and then these shale rocks started to fall on my head a little bit when I was climbing. And I was with my best friend and his girlfriend at the time. And I'm like, halfway out, I'm like, Kenny, I'm kind of sketched out, man. This wasn't a good idea. And he's like, you think you can come down? I'm like, I'm way too high to come down. So I kept climbing. And then I came to a point where I was just like, I'm going to have to swing my left arm here and grab it with my right. So I do it. I grab it. I'm successful at it. I'm at the very top, and the rock just snaps right off. And then I go down like between like 20 and 25 feet. And I try to turn because I don't want to hit my head. I'm thinking like if I go back, then I'm just toast. Yeah. So I try to turn my body, and I break my scaphoid. I broke my pinky. I had 32 stitches in this hand, and I had to get knee surgery. So right when I landed, my buddy Kenny said, you got up so fast. Like right when it hit. I got up so fast, and I immediately checked my head just to make sure I didn't hit my head, because I'm thinking, if I hit my head, I'm toast.
Yeah.
And then immediately I see my hand wide open.
It's like gushing.
Yeah. Well, at first it didn't bleed, so I could see everything. And you're like, what the hell? And you're looking like, And then, like 7 seconds later, blood just starts gushing out of me. And my immediate thought was, I'm 30 minutes away from my car. I jogged and swam here. You have to go like over these rocks to climb around this little bend. Like it's kind of a gnarly, treacherous hike / swim / climb. And at least one person dies there every single year. I actually think they shut it down. But so we ran into an E&T along the way. Like I don't wait up. I'm like 30 seconds after, I'm already starting to run back because I'm like, I'm running out of time here. So we actually ran into an E&T on the way who cleaned me out and wrapped a surf leash around my wrist as a tourniquet.
Wow.
Yeah, good timing. And then my buddy Kenny takes off and he goes and tries to find or call an ambulance back at the car.
Yeah.
And then the E&T helps me climb, and he's pulling my bleeding hand while I'm climbing with my broken hand, which I didn't know was broken at the time. But when I started to climb, every single little step and movement, I was like, it's kind of hurting a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. I start running. I'm like, So, but I was in shock. Yeah. And then I was out for a while. And that's what kind of shaped me, because I had a few D1 colleges interested and any like D2, D3 that I could have gone. Yeah. But I ended up going to OCC instead because all of those coaches had dropped me. They were like, hey, where are you at the tournament? And I was emailing and whatever. Yeah. And it's like, oh, actually, I fell off a cliff. I'm in the hospital. So, and some were like, have a great recovery. Right. And like some like never responded again. I'm like, super cool. Yeah. So I went to OCC and I was like, oh, I'll get out and I'll transfer and go that route. But school really wasn't for me, but it was fine because then I got the beach volleyball jump start, which I felt was very helpful. And I worked out all of those crap that qualifier teams are still going through that I was able to figure it out as at a young age, which I thought was really nice, instead of coming out of college and then relearning how to play the sport, Yeah. I didn't have, I guess I had a whole bunch of time to train and learn. Yeah.
So here we are, and like you guys, I think that you and Andy are like one of the most like promising up and coming teams. If anyone at USA Volleyball is listening to this, like Andy and Eric should be in the gym working out. Troy should be in the gym working out.
We want to.
We want the boys in.
Yeah.
We want to.
So I'm making a case.
Let the boys in. We'll be knocking outside. Hey, let me in! And then meat sticks back there like, no, don't let him in. Don't let him in. I promise, Rich. I promise.
There's no way I ever call Rich Meat Stick. I do not support the nickname at all.
I think it's gonna stick after this.
No.
You watch how many people call him Meat Stick after this thing.
Dude, no.
You can make it. You can make or break this.
I am not. I am off the train. I am off.
You for Meat Stick?
No.
Well, these episodes get listened to, like, this one will probably get like 2,500 downloads, so at least 2,500 people will hear the names.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance.
Yeah. So you're saying there's a chance.
But has it been like, because it's been fun for me to kind of see like you two, especially like because you guys are such good friends, and like the E&T Show, and like similar personalities, like super extroverted, outgoing, like always talking to people and chatting with people, and just like high energy, and like now you guys, like, you came up together and like slightly different paces, but now like you're here, and like I would say that you two are like two like the most exciting players to watch on the AVP.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that's a huge compliment. I'm definitely thankful for that.
Yeah, is it like fun for you guys to like watch each other's progress? Because I know as like best friends, like you're rooting for each other, and you're also like, Troy just got a second in New York.
Yeah, you're like,
I gotta get a third.
What is my best friend doing that I'm not doing?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely one of those things. I'm still trying to find my mindset in volleyball. Like, the Mamba mentality and everything like that. That's something that I'm trying to figure out my own, because even in practice, like we practiced this season together and a couple times, and I'm like helping Eric figure out how to play better against me and like do that. But that's just like, I think I'd way rather be that type of athlete to be there. But where some athletes are, I'm not going to give you my secrets. I'm not going to, the sport's not big enough for that. And especially with how many partner switches there are, if you can help somebody out and give it, because he's going to get that information regardless, whether I tell him or not.
Yeah.
So finding that, so when you see your best friend like have success, like when we played each other in Hawaii, like I gave him a huge hug, and I was just like, dude, I'm like so happy and so proud of you, like, because it wasn't one of those things. I mean, we play each other all the time, every week, like whether it's in practice or playing fours, and so I have a good read on him. It's just basically like who wants it more during that match, and basically how you gonna feel.
It comes down to decision making. We can both do it.
Yeah.
Now who's going to make those decisions and those plays at the right moment?
Yeah.
So
you never know.
It's definitely fun to watch your buddy definitely succeed, and I mean, I'm happy for pretty much anybody. Like when you made it into Austin, we both came out of the qualifier, but I definitely just share the success of my peers, whoever you are. And
I was stoked, by the way, about that.
Yeah.
I know. After, because I always root for teams. Like after I get knocked out of the qualifier, I'm like, you better fucking qualify. You didn't knock me out not to qualify.
Yeah.
So,
No. I'm always rooting.
That was a gnarly match.
That was a great match.
Too.
Yeah.
Like Matt Prospect, just like legend.
Yeah.
Just
in
an all-American dude.
Just big boy, putting it down, crisp high lines.
Yeah. Did y'all play each other? Austin?
Yeah, we played each other. That's why I said that.
Yeah, it was like 22-20, like 19-21, like 16-14.
Wow.
Like,
but that was the third. That wasn't the one to get.
That was the third.
Yeah. Second or third.
We had to play Dylan, Merrick, and Dentler after that. And
they were playing really well.
Yeah,
all
they beat
opposite
Samuels and Brunsting.
Yeah.
And then,
I remember that.
Austin Heat just kind of got to Dentler and started cramping out.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Yeah,
I mean, so you just sharing the success, especially if everybody, like you, like I was telling the people, like you got me into the sport, or kind of like you're the first training group that allowed me to come in. So it's definitely one of those things. I totally respect like a Jeremy Casebeer mindset. Like I love his intensity and love all that, and I respect that. It doesn't work for me, but I do think maybe I have to dip into that to grit my teeth. Like, hey, when we're on the court, like it's game time. This is my business. I'm going to do that. And so, kind of want to, maybe pick his brain more, because he just does that because that helps him. Maybe he's struggled with more of what my personality is. So I still got to find that.
He finds his fire.
Yeah. So if he has to find his fire to be a little bit more intense, for me, I love that. I'm just like all about it. Yeah. Because he doesn't take it personally. Like, you see him out and he's just like, hey, dude, what's up?
Yeah.
But as soon as you step on the court, he's like, I'm gonna murder you. Like, and so it's just one of those things. So maybe I have to find a little bit of that fire, not go through the whole like coaching them on how to beat me, but also, talking them after. So
get a little Jennings in you.
Yeah, I mean, still like
one of my favorite fiery guys of all time.
The Timmy thing. Timmy is Mr. Nice, Minnesota Nice.
Yeah.
But definitely a really intense competitor. And so how do we balance that?
By the way, playing siding out with Ty Trambly has probably been
like you guys had
one
such
of
a
the
blast.
most fun times I've ever had playing volleyball. Because watching Ty, the guy's an absolute monster. You know, I grew up watching him as a kid, running around doing these gnarly one-hand stabs, these sick dicks, and he's just cranking balls.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a little guy, and so, you know, for me, like I know what that feels like. You know, we have like similar motions and movements, and then listening to him coach and talk, I'm like, yeah, totally. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything that he said like has been gold so far on this trip. So then we got to side out together, and it was super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a blast.
We'll get to do it again. We got a little KOB coming up.
Yeah, we're getting KOB in like an hour.
Yeah. This trip's been so great, especially because like I've gotten to stay with Ty. So Ty was like the first pro that I ever met in Huntington. So that was when Ty was playing with Brad Keenan. So it was Jake and Casey on court 1 in Huntington, and then over on the second court when there was still like order in Huntington. Then there was Ty and Keenan.
Restore order.
And then you know we had like whoever over on court 3 or whatever's taken.
Yeah.
But then so Ty would literally always come over and just be like, hey, like I'm Ty, like introduce himself, like let us jump in practice. Sometimes we just needed a body, and he was just like the greatest dude. Yeah. And he's still got it. He's just like, I also put so bad. He's like, I just don't want to give like a false representation of myself.
Yeah.
So he's like, so if I'm not all in, like I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm always like, but you're so good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
And he said that he felt that he left the sport a little too early.
Yeah.
And then he went and got sidetracked. He's like, but I think I can still play.
And then he comes out and sides on 45 straight balls.
Yeah. I know you guys are like
still
bombing
play.
serves, and you know he's recovering, and the cut to like his little dance after is the best thing ever. It was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun trip.
Yeah, super fun.
But with us heading into season, like what does your the end of preseason look like before you start getting into season? Like, do you guys do like more competition stuff as it gets closer, or because like I'm still trying to figure it out. Like I don't even know.
Well, totally. I think what Troy was saying. I mean, you're trying like to do a little balance of competition with individual stuff, so you guys can figure out each other. We're both figuring out new partner stuff. So of where like a back set, of like what our tempo is, what kind of plays we're gonna run, finding our timing together, picking each other's brains. I think there's gonna be a lot of that for both of us. I think I won't speak for you.
I think, and that's kind of going back on coaching a peer or an opponent or a competitor. Like, what could be beautiful about this sport is that if we're in, different realms, like Casey's in this realm of making sure his body's healthy, perfecting those little touches and getting that touch back, and then he's going to be fired up for competition, where it's like you and I, Trav, like we kind of, still want to work on those block touches. Like, what's that small step on our block look like? What are these pull digs? So it's like you and I can go out on a day, when Casey's not there, and you and I can get better just there as people, and then we, can do that. So I think it's like finding your partner and kind of what you need to work on, what do we both need to work on. And, I'm the type of person where no matter what Casey, no matter what happens with him or, anybody I play with down the line, like I want to focus on me and I want to be ready. So I'm working on my stuff and getting better at that. And so definitely Casey and I want to get better as a team. We want to make sure that we're, the best we possibly can be, but then, incorporating more competition stuff. Like, what does it feel like to side out? What's it feel like to do this? And those 3-team practices are always like a tough one. It's like you're forced to side out. Doghouse. We did doghouse like 6 a.m. back in the day. And it's just like you're over there for 30 minutes. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Like,
if anyone doesn't know what doghouse is, you have to 3 side outs, correct?
Yeah. So there's different ways to play it. Definitely the high cardio one is you have to do 3 side outs in a row to get out of the doghouse. And so the serving team, if they stop you once, you're still in.
Yeah, and
if they stop you
2
twice.
teams.
Yeah, so it's pretty high intense. It's a fun drill. You can do it 3
you
teams.
think in your mind, you're like, just gotta side out 3 balls.
And then by the 3rd one, you're just like,
yeah, you're gassed. It's super fast. So it's just like they serve and then 2 free balls. That's the way we did it.
Yeah.
And you got to do 3 in a row. So it's just like bam, 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 and you make 1 poor decision. But it's good. It's like super helpful in intense. But definitely stepping up competition. Understanding, like, hey, you're going to be ready for business. But I think also it's funny because we're kind of seeing it now at that Doha tournament where there's the one team who nobody thought could ever like make the finals and then made it. And I feel like last year was like Chile.
Oh my gosh, dude! Yeah,
like
the Grimald
in Australia, right?
They did it
like
twice.
They
won Doha and they won Sydney. Yeah, back to back.
But so it's just like the start of the season, this team came off firing, and it's like, boom, like we're here. But then you don't really see them much anymore.
Like
either somebody figured them out.
But then I played those cats in Bonaire.
You played Mexico.
Yeah, and like the blocker was one of the most physically out of shape. His name's Jose Rubio. And so we lost the first set 21-10. It's hot. Like this is like a 100-degree day. And midway through the second set, we started serving him because like little guy was like unreal.
Dude, he's
and
gnarly.
He just like could not be bothered to pass the ball. Like we were down like 14. It was like 14-14. Like ran away at the second set, and then it was like 15-7 in the third. Like he just gave up.
Yeah. Jeez.
I texted Trials like this. He must be like interested and in shape. And he was like, I guess, because dude, he beat like Billy Stafford, Try and Trevor, and then he beat
Stoyanovsky.
He beat the Russians,
and then he just beat Evandro.
Evandro and Bruno.
Wow. And I watched the Evandro one, and it's like
crazy.
But anyway, so like you go into that competition, so like obviously that team is ready, and that Chilean team, is that right? Chilean? Mm-hmm. That team like was ready last year.
Yeah.
And so maybe these guys are kind of like, that's the mold. Like they're ready, but how do you maintain? Maybe the rest of the world is kind of like, how are we going to maintain?
Right.
You know, Mullen Sorum were so dominant. Yeah. But then you saw them like during this beginning of the season, they didn't really do, when they finally took off, like they got like 9th in the Huntington FIVB, and then they got like a 9th and maybe like a 5th, and then all of a sudden it was like first. So like, so finding your mold
at the right time.
Yeah, but I mean it's not like the NCAA basketball season where it's like, oh, as long as we peak and going into the tournament, it's like I don't have that liberty. Like I want to win Huntington AVP.
Yeah. Right.
So I was going to say what NBA basketball season.
Yeah.
True.
Exactly right.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, that's for me. It's like I want to win.
Joke.
I want to win Huntington.
Too soon.
I want to win Austin. I want to be ready enough. It's not like I want to win Manhattan and Chicago and Hawaii. It's like that's not my goal is to win only those three. But in reality, that's what's kind of going to happen. And that's the beauty about the Gold Series is kind of being in that like middle. Like New York should be like, boom, like we're ready to go. Yeah. And so, getting myself in a position where I'm ready for Huntington and putting myself in an opportunity to win this tournament and improving off of that. So I think that's my practice schedule for this coming. I mean, again, we're going to see what happens with what's going on right now, but I'm going to do my best to get ready and prepare like we have a season come May.
Yeah.
And if we don't, maybe it's time to rally some local Hermosa people and throw some little tourneys.
Yeah.
So little practice tourneys.
Take the entry fee and make something happen.
Yeah, make something happen. Just put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Let the people come.
Start the SANDCAST GoFundMe for the SANDCAST Open.
Yeah,
the SANDCAST Open.
SANDCAST Open.
That has a ring to it.
Partnered with the McKibben Bros, man, brother.
Come on.
Put something together here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So we're already
going to brewing
plans.
companies, getting passed around.
Yeah, exactly.
E&T Show coverage.
Yeah. So
the three major media entities: SANDCAST, E&T Show.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Definitely competition. Getting ready for it in those competitive. I think it's just super beneficial because it's important for me to touch a ball and like how do I side out 10 balls in a row? That's super important. Mm-hmm. But how do I side out 10 times in a row? With playing defense in between those. You know, there's a difference between getting like served 10 times literally in a row than like serving, then Casey serves, then I serve.
Right.
Like, and so it's like, whoa, like how do we deal with that battle?
Yeah. Throws a little screw in your rhythm.
Yeah, it's a little wrinkle because it's just like, and that was fun. I got opportunity to play with Sam Schachter, the Canadian defender.
Nice. Great.
Because Pedlo had to go home for a bit, so it worked out perfect. Casey was on a family vacation. I got to play with him, and it was so fun to hear him talk about like statistically, like, okay, he just hit that angle out. Like, we got to be ready that he's not going to have that, you know. And so we missed our serve or something like that. The next one, and then so I had to wait like four side outs.
Right.
But he was still remembering that one so he was kind of just playing chess and being like, okay, now he's not going to hit that. He's going to change it up. And so like sometimes I don't even think about that. So that was super fun to hear that mindset kind of come into play. Like, oh, he doesn't have that. But when you play a game, it's like that feels like an eternity ago.
Right.
But it's still applicable.
Yeah, that's like I think one of the best parts about practicing with different people and like high intensity, because I mean at the level that like, you're playing with Shachter, so like if you guys are practicing against like Jake and Taylor, like it might just be practice, but like you're trying to win. Like, you're trying
100%,
and so like it's fun to see how other players think. And, like Sam, I think Sam's unreal.
Oh, I'd get Canadian citizenship for Sam.
Yeah.
He was so fun.
I'd get Canadian citizenship.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's funny. Yeah.
All right. Well, we have kind of some programs to go get to here soon. So let's go enjoy some Cabo. Let's do a Cabo evening. E&T Show. Thanks for coming on, boys.
Hope to see some listeners and some new SOBs coming up. Check it out, south of the border, Volleyball Vacations.
Appreciate you, Tom Davenport, for having us out.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, this one's cheers. Or social.
Oi.
Oi.